us three, we was in children's ministry, but I'm going to talk about what the services was like. You notice on our shirts it says REACT, and it's really an acronym of what all one of the morning services was about. So the R stands for remember it's all about Jesus. The E is evaluate your life before you met Christ. The A is accept Christ into your heart. C is change the way you was living before. And T is tell the world about Jesus. So through the mornings, we had the worship service, and then we went into our groups and we had devotions with it. And throughout that, we was really writing down our testimony. So, and that's what all of this was about. So then, and at the sites, we was in Manchester. We was the only children's group because they all combined Macedonians together. And there was about 35 to 40 kids every day. We was all in different parts of it. I was one of the ones that was in charge of food, and just looking at how much these kids are not cared for. They don't eat at home. So we would give them breakfast and then lunch, and they could have seconds or however much they wanted. It really puts it in perspective how well we have it. So.
Sunday when we arrived, I wasn't really sure about Big Creek. I was nervous about being there because it was my first year and I didn't know how things went. So I thought going into children's, I didn't know what I was going to say or how I was going to lead these kids towards Jesus more. But when I got there, I had the feeling that God was calling me to do the children's devotion with Morgan. So I did the devotions and everything with Morgan, but the second day, God had me for a different purpose. I got assigned to 2 kids that really wouldn't open up to anybody but me. So I was like a tour guide for them all week, or the person that they looked up to. It just puts a perspective on how much we take the little things for granted, like how to eat. I mean, what to eat, or brush our teeth, or brushing our hair. These kids didn't have that. They had parents that didn't care or love you. I mean, I'm really nervous. This is Friday, I gave my testimony to the teenagers because I was asked to do it. And when I did, after I got through talking, there were so many questions. And I answered them the best way I could. I thought I wasn't going to answer them right. But later on, I didn't find this out, but 2 girls from our group, not our group, but the teenagers, they got saved and they accepted Jesus in their heart. And it was it's an experience that I really liked a lot.
This was the first year I've gone as an adult. Normally I'm a camper, but Miss Becky, I was joking with her actually when I asked if I was going as an adult or as a student. And she came to all of us who were going into our 2nd year of college and asked us if we wanted to be adult or if we wanted to be students. And I think all of us said adults. So we were able to choose what we wanted to lead. And I did arts and crafts. And a lot of that, they're really small things. It's not like anything big. We made kites one day, keychains. We made keychains. Forget what else we did. We lip balm. Hurt myself a lot with that. And paper dinosaurs. And just being able to watch these kids react to these little bitty crafts that they get to do was just great. Friday, I got to watch a little girl. She's around 4, I think, but she has medical problems and she's not able to walk really well. Well, the last year we went, which was 2 years ago, she was there, but she was younger and she wasn't able to come. So being able to be the one that was there and walking her around the whole day and playing with her was just great, because I remember her when she came the year before and she wanted to stay and she couldn't.
Okay, we were on the community and we got to meet like a bunch of new people and like we got to experience what it was like to be in the community in Kentucky. So we got to do different things every day. Monday we went to the community center and me, Lacey, and Carson, we hung clothes and we just cleaned up the community center, and Troy and Justin did something different than that. Tuesday, we cleaned the daycare, and we went to Beechwood's apartment, and we met a lot of different people. We were split up between floors, and one guy really touched us. We met Mr. Charlie, and he just had a really rough past few years with his life because his family doesn't really care about him, but it's just amazing to see how like he still has the faith in God to continue believing in Him and trusting in Him. And Wednesday we did lawn work and we met 3 people because well, we had to do their lawns. And the first lady was Miss Eva or Ava. She was really nice. And then we met Mr. Donnie and Miss Janet. And then Thursday we got to do the food pantry and the well. We had to when we were in the food pantry, we had to take groceries out to the different people's cars. And I got to pray with them and minister to them by doing that. And then Friday we got to experience what the children's did. We got to go to a day camp, and we got to swim with the kids, and we were able to get to know them. And I was kind of nervous on this day because the people, they've been there for a whole week, and we were just singing today. And I didn't know if I was going to be able to, associate with them or if somebody would open up to me. But I met a kid named Corbin, and he really touched me. He was really shy the whole week, is what everyone was telling me. And nobody was talking to him, and I think that's why, because he wouldn't open up to anybody. So I didn't stop pushing. I just was like, Lord, lead me in the right direction. Let me talk to him. Let me show your love through. Yeah. But at the end of the day, he was a complete different person. He was talking, and his mom came up, and she was like, this is the first time he's ever been away from me for that long. I've never seen him so happy, and it just touched my heart that Jesus showed his love through me, and that I got to touch him with Jesus.
This past week has honestly been life-changing for me. I became closer with God and everyone in our youth group. One day in particular was really life-changing for me. Tuesday, I was feeling a little off, like I was forgetting something, but I couldn't quite figure out what it was until later that night. After night service, we had a group devotion. As Miss Jennifer was leading our devotion that night, I burst out into tears. I felt my heart broken into a million different pieces. I started praying to God that He would point me in the right direction of life, and then it hit me. I was not happy with how I was living my life, and I wasn't happy with how my relationship with God was. After we got done at devotion, I asked Miss Becky if we could talk. I told her how I was feeling and how I wasn't happy how I was living my life. After we talked for a little bit, I finally told her I was ready to accept Christ as my Lord and Savior. I felt my heart getting back together, and I finally was complete. I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who made it possible for me to go on this trip, and I also wanted to say thank you to Miss Becky and Miss Jennifer. My relationship with God honestly wouldn't be where it is now without y'all. Y'all honestly have made such a big impact on my life.
Yes, thing that I learned from all of this is that if you're going to be a Christian in today's world, you have to have patience. You have to wait on the Lord. There's actually examples in many different verses. Before I left, I had picked up this little book called the Life Book there, and it's more of like telling the Christian story in a way that people today can understand. But there's this one sentence. It says, love is patient and kind. I really don't know how to explain this one, but for true love, you have to wait. You have to wait. You have. I don't have anything open yet. You have to wait for everything, and I really those. I can't. I mean, I've not really had that much luck finding a girlfriend or anything here for the past 2-3 years. But a couple of my friends told me just wait, you'll find her. And some of those people are still really close friends of mine, and I found that they always will be. And Hebrews 12:1. Therefore, I mean, this is King James, the Life Book is, I'm assuming, NIV, but Hebrews 12:1. Therefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doeth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience the race that is set before us. You have to be patient for Jesus. You have to be patient to wait for the Lord. And there's another verse that I found in the Life Book, and this one's actually pretty common. Just like it says, they who wait for the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Isaiah 40:31. And whenever Kevin, the nightly devotion leader, whenever Kevin was speaking Friday night, he mentioned pruning shrubs, and saying you have to wait. You have to be patient, because if you're patient, then it will turn out to be something beautiful.
One last thing before we're done with ours. We met a man named Mr. Charlie at Beechwood's Apartments, and I'm telling y'all, I was kind of skeptical walking up those stairs and them opening the door, because all three of us took a step back when they opened the door. But Mr. Charlie was a really nice man, and just a lot of stuff has happened to him in the past few years. He lost his wife in 2015, and then that's when it started going downhill. In the past 2 years, Mr. Charlie has had 8 to 9 surgeries. His youngest son was a drug addict, and Mr. Charlie let his son in so his son could have shelter. Mr. Charlie said that his son stole from him and tried to kill him. That was kind of like, we were like, goodness. He also went into how none of his family members care about him, and that's kind of hard to imagine, because my family is such a big life of how I grow spiritually and physically. He said the only thing he has now is his friends, because nobody cares about him anymore. But the thing that amazed me the most is he still holds his faith in God. And that kind of, I took a piece of that because I kind of struggle with little problems. And I'm just like questioning. And he's gone through all of this and he still holds his faith in God. And that is just amazing. And like it shows how God works and how we should all trust in him, because even through the hard times, he's still there with us. Even though sometimes we may not feel him, he is still there with us. And I just like to thank y'all for letting me come, and thank you, Miss Becky, for letting me fill that spot. And thank y'all.
Amen.
Okay, that's it. Okay, so we were working with the community of the counties surrounding Big Creek, and I'm just going to give y'all an overview of what we did every day for that week. So on day one, we did some yard work for 4 houses. We weed, or what they call it up there is weed whack. But yeah, we weed whacked their yard, we mowed their yard, and we just fellowshiped and had a good time with the homeowners. So that's basically what we did day one. Day 2, we visited a nursing home, we played bingo with the residents, we sang some hymns. We also passed out flyers that afternoon for the local day camp that Big Creek throws. So that's basically what we did on day 2. On day 3, we worked on the food truck. So we loaded our vans down with food, and Wednesday is their pizza day, so we went and bought like 12 pizzas? A lot of pizza. So 12 pizza. I think we had big old cans of peaches, just a lot of fruit, and 6 cans. Yeah, and a whole bunch of jugs of milk, and we just passed that out for the kids and adults in those communities. So that's what we did on day 3. On day 4, we delivered adult care packages to several hospitals, rehabilitation centers. We also went to adult daycare, and we played several games and sang many hymns and prayed with them. On day 5, we made hygiene packages for the kids at the day camp, and some of us did yard work outside Big Creek, so we did a little bit of both there. And then we also did yard work for another house, some more weed whacking and lawn mowing. And we also went to a pantry and picked up food to take to another day camp. So that's basically what we did all week. We did a lot, but we were worn out, and yeah.
We were gone for a whole week, and it seems like I keep wanting to say we were gone for a weekend because time flies when you're having fun. And it's weird that I had so much fun because I had to do a lot of things that I didn't like to do, and I normally would have had a bad attitude about doing. But 2 things that really stuck with me over the weekend I'm going to share with you. And one of them is that there's something bigger than us, because like the whole time I was out there weeding, I hate weeding so much, but like I had so much fun doing it because I was doing it not for me but for the Lord. I wasn't doing it because my stepdad said to. I was doing it so I would have a chance to talk to some people that maybe didn't know God, or maybe they haven't been showed God's love in a long time. And so those yards hadn't been showed any love in a very long time. But another thing that I realized is the people up there, they live in these beautiful mountains, but it's not very pretty to them because they've lived there their whole life. And it's kind of like sin. If you live in sin long enough, it just becomes normal to you. And it's like you don't even realize that you're sinning anymore because it's just there every day. So taking me out of my just everyday routine and going into the mountains somewhere so pretty and just living and growing for God every day it opened up my eyes to how much I needed to change, and that was great for me. But that's all I have to say.
My name is Denver, and I did community work with Becky, and the main thing that I wanted to say is God does a lot for us, and we still like, sometimes we're like, no, we're not doing this. We're going the opposite way to the world. We're going to party or have fun and not focus on Jesus. And at the same time, we can still have fun and focus on Jesus. And you might think it's boring, but at the end, you'll have eternal life with Him and not burning in a pot. And we did on day 4 was John 10, 1 to 8. Everyone said, it's Jesus helped a blind man by spitting on dirt, and he threw some of the dirt in the dude's eyes and told him to go wash it. Immediately, he went to go wash it, and after he got all and the dude washed the spit, blood off his eyes, and he saw. The other people were so shocked that they didn't know who done that to him, so they were like, who done it? And he told them that it was Jesus, but some of the people got mad because one dude died, I forgot how, and he like, some of them were mad because the dude died, and others were happy. And after Jesus helped blind man see, it's like people were upset about the other dude not focusing on God's miracle. If you focus on God's miracle, you would like be more praising to Him. Y'all focus like everybody here, not just the people that sing. We all sing. And say for a family member died, but another family member survived. Like, God's using the one that died for a reason. But all at the same time, we're still focused on the dead person, that the person that you still have, you're like, so, like, not dependent on them. And if you don't pray about the people that did die, you're going to be like, God, why you take this person? But at the same time, you help that other person. Because you have to plan for every single body in here, right? But we all need to start like focusing more on Jesus and bringing it to other people that He's there for us. And that's all I have to say.
How y'all doing this morning? Over the past week, we've been at Big Creek, but over time, we've been with about 9-year-old and 98-year-old woman, and the way she talks, she don't have nobody but our kids, and we've been tearing out her floor, trying to make sure she don't fall. And she ain't but like this tall. She can't be grumpy, but she's been really nice with us. And she didn't want us to do nothing to her house. And then we started talking to her. We ended up building her porch, re-roofing her in front of her house, and she's just nice. And Jesus touched us over the week, and
How are y'all today? Well, first, I just want to thank all y'all for the adults that came, for taking a week off of work just so we can go learn more about Jesus and experience what we experienced this week. I'm just going to tell y'all a little bit about what I did every day. So, every single morning I get up pretty early, about 5 o'clock, 5:30, and I'd have my own little devotion before the big devotion at 8 o'clock. So I'd go in there, listen to the morning preacher. His name was Hayden. And he would do a little devotion for us, and then after that we'd go to our instruction group that we'd have, and our instruction leader would ask us questions and kind of do a little recap of what the devotion in the morning was about. And the house we were working on, like Logan said, was a 98-year-old widow's house. Her name was Miss Olte. She can't really remember too much, so she'd ask you a bunch of the same questions a lot. She probably asked us where we were from probably 20 times every hour. But she was a blessing, and I really loved working on her house. But before we even went to the house, our group leader, he told us that the house was in such bad shape that it just needed to be bulldozed and nobody should live there. So when we got there, we realized how bad it really was. The roof needed redone, the floors were caving in, we had to put new shingles on off of there. But I think the best time of my day, during the day, was lunchtime. We we'd pack her a lunch, and after we got done eating lunch, we'd eat with her and we'd sit down and play songs. He'd bring his guitar every day. We'd sing her songs. And the song that she loved the most, we'd sing this probably 2 or 3 times a day, was Have a Little Talk with Jesus. And she just loved that. She loved that and Amazing Grace. She always wanted to end it with Amazing Grace. After we left there, we'd go back. We'd have a little bit of free time, get cleaned up for church that night. We'd eat supper, and most of the time after that, we'd all just sit outside. They had a game outside that we could play while we're waiting. And the night service preacher was Kevin. He was a really great speaker. All the night services were great. But overall, God really has showed me to be so thankful for everything that we have here. Because, of course, we have more money, I guess you could say, than they do up there. And the way that they're living is insane. Nobody should be able to live like that. He taught me that, that the fire that we have when we're at church camps, it shouldn't just die down when we get back home. It should stay lit all through the year instead of just that 1 week that we go to church camp for. That's basically it. I just want to thank y'all again for letting us go and taking the time out of y'all weeks. Thanks, man.
Like I said, we were on Miss Olte's team doing construction for her during the week, and there was a lot of things wrong with her house, and she was just so stubborn that she didn't want to leave it. And we just had, the only way to help her was to go in and fix it. And she didn't at first want us to do anything, she just wanted us to leave. And towards the end of the week, she ended up finally just coming to like us being there and get used to us being there. And she would ask us when we were coming back, and if we're coming back tomorrow. And that last day, Friday, when we went there for the last time, it was really sad to hear her ask what time we'll be there tomorrow, because she just doesn't have anybody, and we were able to just touch her life. And the thing that I saw, how God worked the most in her life this week, that touched me the most was when we would take our time for lunch break. Our lunch break, I didn't see it as for us. It was really our time with her, because we were all busy doing construction and trying to help her out. So the main time that we spent with her was on lunch break, and we would get together and sing, and some of her daughters would be there sometimes while we were singing. And towards the end of the week, just one day, she got to where she just loved to hear us sing so much. She couldn't remember barely anything. When you would ask her a question, she'd answer you 4 or 5 times. Or when she was trying to bring up a conversation, she would just bring that same conversation up over and over again. But what was crazy to me to see is when we were singing these songs like Amazing Grace and the Old Rugged Cross and things like that, she never forgot a single word of these songs. She remembered every one of them, every single word. She never missed a beat, she never missed a word. And she would just keep on going, and that was crazy to me to see that God was just, she could remember all that had to do with God. And then towards the end of the week, when we were going to bless the food, she asked to bless the food. And that really touched me because during her prayer, it was hard for her to say a straight sentence completely all the way to us and just hold a conversation. But during that prayer, we would never know anything was wrong with her, just to see the way she talked to the Lord. And that just really touched me to see that how close we had maybe brought her to the Lord and put that in her life for her this week, just helping her out and giving her some company and trying to help her out as much as we could. And that just really touched me.
I'm just here to represent Sandra. I don't know what these did, or just kidding. Sandra and Jason both lost their voices. And so Sandra wrote out what she would just like me to share with you this morning. She said, 3 things I learned in Big Creek. 1, Big Creek, well-oiled machine that God is using to take and heal lives and show Christians how to love people. The adults can give without getting paid. They can take time off from their work. They can leave their babies for a week. They can give of their time. They can find a way to smile. And when they haven't slept, that is on the floors they sleep. They live on coffee. Have to watch out of the back of their heads. They can laugh instead of crying. They can direct. They can teach. They can live by example through Jesus Christ. They can discipline with love. Our youth this week, the youth need to be guided and shown how to do and discipline because it makes them stronger and selfless. The youth need to have God's word planted in their hearts so they can grow to be like Jesus. Our youth can do it. We just have to teach and watch. She said, I watch the youth lead children groups, play with children, pray with the children, handle situations. They cut grass with push mowers, they weed eat or weed whack. They clean houses, they put on roofs, they cut boards, they used machinery and tools, they rebuilt floors, they made friends. And yes, they even lived without those cell phones. They encouraged others. They listened to a 98-year-old woman pray for them. Sat by the old ladies and they talked. They fixed extra lunches and they sang to people. They knocked on doors and prayed with and prayed for the needs of the people. They did what Christ asked them to do. Our young people will rise if we set the bar high enough. And they'll live their lives according to God's word, with no exceptions. So church, we see youth making bad choices, or not doing the right things. Talk to them, teach them. Don't be afraid to correct or teach, because it is all our responsibility. God's word says that the older should teach the younger. We thank you for letting us go and learn. We love y'all. Sandra Jacob. Amen.
she went with us. Oh, I just have two, like, aha moments to tell y'all about. I think there is a plan in place for every one of these young people. You know, we went 2 years previous. We did community when we went. The first aha moment is we were doing yard work. And Becky and I, we don't like to sweat. We don't like to sweat. This cut grass thing, you know, we went, we served. We were driving our bus and we pulled up at this house and I'm like, we were here. This is the same house we were at 2 years ago. How awesome is that? We're going to go and see that guy again. Well, the year before, the 2 years ago that we went, his wife was sick. She was sick in the hospital, and we were able to pray with him and ask for healing for his wife. He spent time with him to cut his grass, and his wife was there this time. You know, she was home, and they were doing well, and they were so happy to see us, to have us. It was just that moment, like, okay, God, you're showing us that it's not for nothing. We have a purpose and a plan. My second moment that just made it all worthwhile is on day 2, we had to change the schedule. One of our staff were sick, and so we just did something off that wasn't scheduled. They needed help passing out flyers for the day camp. We went to several local businesses and passed out flyers, asked if we could pray, just spent some time just going around. And as we were leaving one of the little places, little shopping area, there was a car parked off to the side and a lady in and the 2 kids in the back. I said, y'all wait, I'm going to drop the flyer off. And they go and drop the flyer off. And she's like, oh, really, to have this camp? And I'm like, yes, ma'am, bring the kids. They would love it. She says, we'll be there. We'll be there tomorrow. Well, that next day, we actually had a chance to go to the camp. And those kids were there, and that mama was there. That mama is now on fire for Big Creek, wants to know what she can do for Big Creek, wants to know if she can have other family members come be part of Big Creek. Those kids opened up, and because of that one flyer, that one stop, that one accident, we changed a family's life. We planted a seed that is going to grow, and that's going to turn into another seed. And that's going to turn into another seed, and that's what this trip was all about, was those kids here, they realized, hey, I can plant that seed right here, that I can make a difference right here. I've got a nursing home. I've got kids that don't have family. I've got things here in my community I can do. And they were amazing, well-behaved, beautiful children. Real structured up there, early mornings, late bedtimes. But every morning they were up ready to serve. From helping in the kitchen, taking out the trash, they did it all. And they even died. And I thank y'all so much for allowing all of us to go. I miss Bennett. Oh boy, I miss that baby. But it was worth every moment spent up there to see one life changed. And it's going to turn into another life and another life. And that seed just doesn't stop here. It just keeps growing with every single one of y'all. And I'm so proud of y'all as a youth group.
All right, I'm going to finish this out, but first of all, I want to say to you guys, thank you. Not just thank you for being you, but thank you for showing me God this week. You guys showed God's love through everything you did, everything you said, the way that you loved on those people, the way that you loved on each other and encouraged each other. You got up with smiles on your faces, even though it was hard because we were tired, and in some of those pictures you can probably see that. But you guys ministered to me this week, not just the people that we were up there serving. You ministered to me, and I'm thankful for each and every one of you, and I love you all so very much. I was in community this week. I tend to do community because I'm good. I can handle teenagers, and I'm not great with children. I feel like they don't get me because I tend to be a little goofy. But So I was in community, and like Jennifer said, the first day our lady says, well, we're going to do yard work 2 days this week. And I thought, Jesus is testing me, because like Jennifer said, I don't like to sweat, I don't like to be outside, I definitely don't like getting dirty. So the very first day I kind of went in, I was like, oh, I don't know about this. So we wake up Monday morning, and the first house we go to, the lady comes out, and she's like, I just don't know about this. You got to talk to my brother. And the way it was kind of sounding, it was almost like the brother didn't want us there. And then the brother shows up, and at first it was a little hard. He didn't really want us there. He had just bought a weed eater, even though he couldn't even really do it because he was pretty feeble. But after some of our guys started talking to him, the way